Hello everyone and welcome. Let's take a look at the biggest headlines from across the United States and around the world covering politics, society, and the stories shaping our democracy. But before we begin, a quick request: if you believe in supporting honest and independent journalism, please hit the like button and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Israel warns of new Iranian plot against Trump. Sources say Israeli officials are warning that Iran may be developing a new plan targeting President Donald Trump, according to sources familiar with intelligence assessments. The warning reportedly comes amid rising tensions in the Middle East and increasing concerns over possible retaliation linked to previous U.S. actions against Iranian leaders. U.S. and Israeli security agencies are closely monitoring potential threats, and officials say additional protective measures have been put in place. Neither the White House nor Iranian officials have publicly confirmed the specific intelligence claims, but the report is expected to intensify already strained relations between Washington and Tehran. Police launch murder investigation into death of former UK politician Anne Widdecombe. Police have launched a murder investigation following the death of former British politician and television personality Anne Widdecombe. Authorities confirmed that investigators are examining the circumstances surrounding her death after new evidence reportedly raised serious concerns. Officials have not released many details, citing the ongoing investigation, but detectives say they are pursuing all possible leads. The case has drawn significant public attention due to Widdecombe's long political career and media presence. Further updates are expected as investigators continue gathering evidence and interviewing potential witnesses. Things are heating up aboard a U.S. warship as Iran's ceasefire collapses. Tensions in the Middle East are rising once again after the ceasefire between Iran and its adversaries reportedly broke down. Speaking from aboard a U.S. Navy warship, military personnel described the situation as increasingly dangerous, saying that forces are on high alert and prepared for any escalation. American warships and aircraft remain positioned across the region as officials closely monitor Iranian activities. Defense officials warn that the collapse of the ceasefire could increase the risk of new military confrontations, further threatening regional stability and international security. Roommate says Charlie Kirk murder suspect expressed regret after killing. A roommate of the suspect accused in the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk told Utah prosecutors that the defendant allegedly said he wished he had not carried out the attack. According to court documents, the roommate claimed the suspect appeared emotional and expressed regret. Following the incident, prosecutors argue the statements could become important evidence as the case moves forward. Defense attorneys are expected to challenge parts of the testimony, while investigators continue gathering evidence in one of the nation's most closely watched criminal cases. Epstein survivors claim former assistant Leslie Groff misled Congress. Survivors connected to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are alleging that his former assistant Leslie Groff provided misleading information to Congress regarding key details of Epstein's operations and associates. According to reports, the survivors claim that certain statements made during congressional inquiries do not match evidence and testimony previously gathered by investigators. The allegations could renew scrutiny over Epstein's network and past investigations. Groff has previously denied wrongdoing, and no criminal charges related to these latest claims have been announced. The new accusations are expected to intensify calls for greater transparency and accountability in the long-running Epstein case. Large protest erupts in Houston after man fatally shot by ICE agents. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered in Houston following the fatal shooting of a man during an encounter involving U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Protesters demanded transparency and accountability, with many calling for an independent investigation into the incident. Local officials urged calm as police monitored the demonstrations, which remained largely peaceful. ICE officials stated that an internal review is underway and that more details will be released as the investigation progresses. The incident has reignited national debate over immigration enforcement policies and the use of force by federal agencies. Deadly Spain wildfire kills at least 11 as firefighters race to contain blaze. At least 11 people have died as massive wildfires continue to sweep across parts of Spain, forcing evacuations and triggering a major emergency response. Fire crews are battling strong winds, high temperatures, and dry conditions that have made the blaze difficult to control. Authorities say several communities have been affected, with homes destroyed and thousands of residents placed on alert. European officials are closely monitoring the situation as the disaster highlights growing concerns over extreme weather and increasingly severe wildfire seasons across the region. Trump removes Election Assistance Commission leaders in major shakeup. President Donald Trump has reportedly dismissed several leaders of the U.S. Election Assistance Commission, a federal agency that helps states administer elections and improve voting security. The move has sparked immediate political debate, with supporters arguing that new leadership is needed to strengthen election integrity, while critics warn that the decision could raise concerns about the independence of federal election oversight. Election experts and lawmakers are closely watching the situation as questions grow over how the leadership changes may affect future election policies and administration across the country. Iran's slain leader buried as escalating strikes shake the Middle East. Iran has buried one of its senior leaders following days of escalating military strikes that have intensified tensions across the Middle East. Thousands of mourners gathered for the funeral ceremony as Iranian officials vowed that the country would respond to what they called acts of aggression. Meanwhile, regional governments and world leaders are urging restraint to prevent a wider conflict. The recent violence has raised fears of further military escalation, with global markets and security agencies closely monitoring developments in one of the world's most volatile regions. France advances to World Cup semifinals with dominant 2-0 victory over Morocco. France secured its place in the FIFA World Cup semifinals after delivering an impressive 2-0 victory over Morocco. The French side controlled much of the match, creating several scoring opportunities and showing strong defensive discipline throughout the game. Morocco fought hard and enjoyed strong support from fans, but struggled to break through France's organized defense. With the win, France moves one step closer to another World Cup title, while Morocco's remarkable tournament run comes to an end after making history with its deep progression in the competition. Trump eyes new White House construction project featuring historic columns. President Donald Trump is reportedly considering a new construction project at the White House that would incorporate decorative columns inspired by classical American architecture. Sources say the proposal is aimed at enhancing parts of the White House grounds and reflecting a more traditional design style. The project has already sparked debate among historians, architects, and political observers, with supporters praising the vision while critics question the timing and cost. White House officials have not yet announced final plans or a timeline for the proposed construction effort. James Woods speaks out on major political and national issues. Actor and conservative commentator James Woods has once again drawn attention with his latest comments on U.S. politics and national issues. Woods, who is active on social media, has been vocal in criticizing government policies and expressing support for conservative causes. His recent statements have sparked debate online, with supporters praising his outspoken views, while critics have challenged his positions. As the political climate in the United States remains highly polarized, Woods continues to be a prominent voice in public discussions surrounding free speech, elections, and national policy issues.